Hi everyone, Kasey Thompson here. Today I wanted to talk about and relay a conversation that I had with my angels and what I like to call my spirit team. And what I had asked them is what Jesus Christ taught a couple of thousand years ago, the exact same as Christianity is today. And the reason I asked is because there's so many variations of the Christian religion. Plus, there's 10,000 plus religions in the world. I was curious if his teachings were the same as they are today. And the way that it basically works when I communicate with the other side is I either immediately get answers telepathically, or it's like watching a hologram or a transparency. I can watch the questions that I ask in motion and get answers that way. So it's kind of a hybrid is how I relate with the other side is a mixture of telepathy and, like I said, transparency or like a hologram, and that's how I communicate. So the first vision that I was shown from my angels is that Christianity, it was never really started or taught by Jesus. It was made up after his death. Basically, it's a religion started about his name, but not 100% about his teachings. And that Jesus' true teachings were more focused on the kingdom of heaven that is within each of us. He taught that God is love. And to know God is to fill yourself with love. He taught that we are connected directly to God, and that there's really no need for churches or random people out there teaching you about their personal truth. That these organizations are fine, for friendships and opportunities for service and those types of things, but pure truth comes directly from God. And your own experiences with God is what he taught. Jesus also taught that we should live from the heart and not from the ego, that we should break free from religious control. I also saw that we should all live in unity with love, with divine wisdom. And also that Jesus' truth was very, very simple. If you know thyself, you will know God. From that point, the vision kind of switched to where from there I went to Jesus' teachings of where they were basically sort of distorted or deleted. I saw the Gospel of Thomas. He was very close to Jesus, and I see that everything he wrote is basically lost. It's not in the Bible. It's nowhere. And I also saw that some of the writings of Paul, who was someone that never met Jesus personally, that he wrote more about sin and submission, obedience over self-realization truths. I also saw that Jesus was very despised by all religious and political institutions because he taught that the kingdom of heaven is within us. It's not inside of some man-made structure. And that people have access to God directly. They don't have to go through religious leaders to communicate with God, that each of us has a direct line to God ourselves. And that love transcends all law and all control. From that point, the vision kind of switches, and the next part I start seeing Jesus' death. And that I saw that after Jesus' death, that a lot of his teachings were distorted to create control for churches to control people. That only through churches people could access God. And churches started to downplay the need for people to have a personal relationship with God, which is exactly what Jesus taught. And that these churches started to teach fear, and these churches started to replace fear and sin, or they would substitute fear and sin and replace love and replace oneness and replace divine wisdom. I saw that there are many versions of the Bible, and they're in many languages, and a lot of them were altered to fit different religious agendas. I saw that Jesus' truth is very simple. It's that the living God is within you, and that the kingdom of God is real, and that God is love. God is love. After that, the final vision that I saw is about the second coming of Christ. And this is new for me again because I grew up Christian. So I see visions, and sometimes they're completely different than I've ever knew my whole life or was taught my whole life. But the last vision I had was the second coming of Christ. And that the second coming of Christ isn't about him returning in a physical form. It's about humanity waking up to Christ's truth. That this is happening now. That the veil is starting to lift. The truth is being remembered by people today. The people are realizing that God is within them. And people are breaking free from religious conditioning. That more people are connecting with love, and they are connecting with inner wisdom. And realizing that our divinity, as Jesus did, Jesus realized our divinity, and we are all starting to realize our divinity. Thank you very much. God bless. I love you all.